from all around your lawn. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.
Certainly is, Cookie. Waiting now on Cameron Carr for Bell Post Hill to bring the ball back into play. He elects to keep the ball down the corridor. In front there was Brett Wallstrom, the high flyer. Couldn't hold the ball cleanly. Good unselfish play, Paul Barr from Bannockburn. Fed it across to his teammate Christian Shaw, who shoots at goal from 30 metres, but was forced to use his non-preferred kick, which is the right foot, and he's kicked it right across the face of goal, off hands and out of bounds. And I said 20. It's 30 and a half minutes have gone to this final quarter. But what was by Taco Bells.
Waiting on the boundary umpire to commence proceedings down there near the tennis courts, where we've seen a bit of the football today. Very tall boundary umpire too. Let's watch the throw, Ron. Oh, look at that late in the day. Beautiful throw in. High in the air. Up goes the big fella Ravis there for Bell Post Hill to win the hit out. Umpire coming in has found a free kick, and it looks like Stewie Benyon might pick himself up from the bottom of this pack. He's been on the bottom of a few, and Stewie Benyon's going to relieve for Bell Post Hill deep in defence.
Yes, another good, reliable contributor this afternoon for the Bell Post Hill Panthers footy club, as he's kicked, though, on this occasion. Looks for Mike Scholar. Drops short, allows Barth to come in. Tried to crash his way through, but was dispossessed of the leather. And Adam Houghton, a real Collingwood effort there, goes straight to the boundary line as the siren sounds to terminate, well, a very entertaining game of football here this afternoon out at Bannockburn to complete round 9 GDFL match of the day, as we see that the Bell Post Hill Division 1 side are victorious here this afternoon. Their final score 18-14. 122 points have defeated Bannockburn 12-15. I bring to you the WI microphone the coach, and a successful and a happy coach too this afternoon, Dale Smythe. Congratulations.
Thank you. Welcome, Dale. Well, last time we saw you, you mentioned before the game that you had a team meeting and a certain player wasn't there on time. You sat him on the bench, Adam Cabbage, for reasons of discipline. He didn't start on the bench today, and I bet you're glad you didn't start him there today. Gee, he played a sensational game here today. He must have a sore foot in there, has he? Got a bit of ice on it?
He is a good player. It's unfortunately some of these young blokes seem to think they're still playing under-18 football, but I think he's learnt the hard way now, and I don't think he'll be late for another game.
Yeah, I think the lesson's been learnt, and Ron, we commented through the game that he just seemed to be everywhere where the ball was. He seemed to get, and when he kicked it, he went and got it again. 2 or 3 times he followed the ball up beautifully and set up goals for you, and gee, certainly an attacking wingman, and to get someone from the opposition to tag him, he's going to have to be pretty fit to run with him all day, isn't he? He covers a lot of territory.
I think probably one of our biggest assets this year is our younger players. Sure, you've got to have the experience around, but these younger players seem to get us through our games week in, week out, just simply because they can run a game out for 120 minutes. If you have to go that far, they can probably go further if you ask them, and they do it for you.
A lot of these players, Dale, would have played together at junior level with the club.
Most of the guys this year that have come up have all been there for some time, especially the younger brigade. We've got a few guys from outside this year, but as I said to you probably the last time I spoke to you, there is a lot of players outside the district or playing other leagues, but these kids, if we can hopefully keep them again for next year and bring the next lot of kids coming through, they've had the year in experience, then things look pretty good for the club over the next probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 year time.
Yeah, look, a real exciting future for Bell Post Hill, and I was amazed today, the sixth sense, as I suppose you'd call it, with when a certain player got the ball, like a Priscilowicz. Wall just knew that he had to be at a certain spot and got there with a lot of hard work, but the ball was going to ended up hitting him right on the chest, and it happened with monotonous regularity, and it was a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, we work on things like that at training. Like, we've got to learn our own, I suppose, skills, what we can do and what we can't do, and what players do regularly. And Adam likes to run back on his right foot. He doesn't use his left foot very often, but he does. As I said, if the guys can learn each other, the way they play the game, it just makes things easy. As you said, you can run to spots and you know the ball's going to be there.
Dale, I'd suggest to you that you're going to have trouble keeping a few of these players for the next couple of years that you want. I think the scouts will be around for a few of your younger players. I hope you do keep them, because they're certainly good mates. You can see by the way they play, they're good mates, but I reckon you might have a bit of trouble holding them together, mate.
Yeah, it could be a problem. As I said, the group that we've got at the moment are really not interested in going to the major league at this stage. Well, they haven't indicated that. They've played football together for a long, long time, and it's a different group that we've got, and they want to play together. They enjoy each other's company, and they spend all their, I suppose, time between Saturday to Saturday with each other. So that's probably a good aspect in holding one or two of them, I suppose.
Well, all I'll say to that, gentlemen, is a game of football is a game of football, whether it's at major or minor level. I think today, as witnessed here by guest video cameras, quite a very good game of our great game, Australian rules football. And, I think sometimes these major statuses are overrated.
Yeah, well, that's true. As I said, if these guys are going on to bigger and better things, and a lot of them aim to go to, I suppose, your AFLs, your level that you want to go at, if the league scouts are honest with themselves, they'll notice them in this league, and if they're outstanding in this league, then they'll be picked up, because we've had a few, like Scotty McDonald and Gary Fairchild went and did a pre-season with Footscray 2 years ago, and, they didn't quite make it, but, they've made themselves in GFL players now, so... as I said, these younger players, if we can keep these guys together, we'll do well.
All right, Dale, getting back to the start of the game, we were thrown in complete confusion up here by the change in numbers of Bannockburn. Did you send players out to tag certain players today? And if so, how did they go locating the numbers? Because it took us most of the first quarter to get all ours organised.
No, I'm probably an old-fashioned coach or something, but I believe the game's there to be won, and if you're good enough, you'll win it with the players. And if someone starts to win it, then obviously you've got to look at it. But I think we've got enough players around the ground, and it's shown today that we're good enough, and I think other teams will be now taking a step to manning up on a couple of our players rather than us doing that.
Interesting. So it doesn't matter who you're playing, you'll select your best side, your best 20 for that particular game.
Yeah, we look at it, obviously, that's good. Corio next week, I suppose one guy you'd look at is Boothroyd because his goal-kicking ability, but that would be the only bloke we'd look at, and we would just hope that the rest of the guys around the ground can hold their own.
A player like a Wayne Tyke would be very handy in your side?
A guy like Wayne Tyke would be handy in any side, I think, especially after his 16 and 24 goals, whatever he's kicked in the last couple of weeks. But,
the only downside from your team performance today is that really, without Dave Ball firing, you haven't got someone to convert regularly up forward. In the square.
Yeah, that's probably true. We had to rob Peter to pay Paul today because we've got a lot of injuries at the club, and we've taken Michael Batty out of full forward. And last time we had him at full forward. We've actually used Mick Scholar in the forward pocket last week, and they worked well combined together. Again, two kids that had played together knew what each other could do. And today, when we had to take Bats out to play him in the ruck, we were basically not looking for someone to fill the spot, but there was guys there that we knew that we could kick the winning score with anyway.
Certainly, and you did that with quite consummate ease after half-time, and I'm sure that your words at half-time would have been rather strong, and they obviously worked.
Yeah, I'd like to think that these players have got enough pride in themselves to, rather than me, to generate some enthusiasm into them, that they should have enough themselves. But it's just a bit of a guidance, I think, because of the team we've got, to show them what I think we should be doing. And as I said, after half-time, it was evident that we moved the ball a lot quicker and played well.
Just in closing, one thing I've got to ask, and from up here, it didn't appear to be very, very windy at all. How did you experience the conditions in the first half? Because I've never seen so many errors by foot and by hand and turnovers in a game of football as well.
Early in the game, the first quarter and probably the first half of the second quarter, the wind was noticeable out there. It was probably, when we were kicking in the first quarter, probably 4, maybe 5 goals, I believe.
Okay.
After that, it did die down a bit. It was probably still worth 2 or 3, but towards the end of the game, there was not a great decisive end. It was just a matter of working the ball
That makes
down.
me feel a bit better.
And me too, Ron, because I criticised players of both sides and said that the coaches at half-time will be very critical of their players and give them a burst, because some of the turnovers were absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, like so.
Players working hard for the ball, winning the footy and kicking it 30 yards only and straight into the arms of the opponents.
That was one of the things I did mention to at half-time. We had to pick up on our skill level. It was easy to get the ball out, but when we turned it over, they were just rebounding it so easily, and the same with themselves. So I said if we could pick up ours and work on their mistakes, then we'd win the game.
And that's exactly what you did, mate. I won't hold you up any longer. It's a bit cool up here in the comedy position. Again, congratulations from the WIR and guest video team here this afternoon. Thanks for the entertainment. We've really enjoyed the game here. I hope the kids stick together for your sake, because I think you've got a big future there. Not next year or the year after. This year is looking good for Belpost Hill, and I'm sure that you'll go into bigger and better things for the remainder of the year.
Yes, we're hoping that way. And as I said, when we get these other 14 players back, it'll add some great depth to the club and a bit more pressure on guys to perform, so we should do quite well.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Dale Smythe, the coach of the Belpost Hill Panthers, and a very happy one here this afternoon.
We are the Raiders from all around your lawn. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.